All right, guys, let's get tonight started. I'm super excited to be hosting the Dream Team. You guys know I hopped on last week for just a little bit with Steph and Brittany, and man, they just crushed it. I know they gave a lot of people a lot of different ideas. I'm going to give you guys a challenge that I'm putting out there for my team today. It's just a challenge of really after all the talk that I had with Chas and a couple other leaders and so forth, we want to find a way, you know, when you're in this kind of business, guys, it's always about being a problem solver. It's always about trying to find solutions for people, whether that's a customer, whether that's a potential promoter, whether that is current promoters, current customers, right? So if they can't afford it, you want to find a way for them to afford it. If they want to thrive, but they don't have money, then you want to try to help them thrive for free. It's all about really finding what that solution is and constantly working towards it. Well, for me, I truly believe that if I want my team to accomplish it, I need to be accomplishing it as well. So I put a challenge out there for my team, and I want to put this out to every single person that maybe scratched their head when this triple fast start came out and said, I haven't even signed one person. So how am I going to sign 4 people to make all this money that you guys are talking about can happen? And on the flip side of that, I also want to say, I don't want to see anybody going out and buying a bunch of kits and it just sitting on your shelf. Like, that doesn't gain you any customers. That doesn't get you any retention. It doesn't get any added sales or new exciting stories or anything like that. So, I'm not sure how many of you guys hopped on the Zoom that we had last night with Natasha and Kayla and Carol and Chas. But one of the big things that, Kayla Fox had shared was that, if you sold 10 6-day minis, you would have enough to purchase a $400 upgrade kit. If you sold 10 6-day mini experiences, you would have enough to order a $400 upgrade, plus you would have an extra box of shakes and an extra box of light or capsules, right? So what does that tell you guys? That says, okay, like, I've got almost another month's supply, that if I turn around and I sell these to people and I get all these samples out, I put everybody through the funnel, and I'm going to talk about that too briefly, but I put everybody through the funnel and I have everybody planned to get started. I'm going to give you guys a couple little tips that Natasha shared, but also I'm going to touch on, I put a poll up a couple hours ago on the Dream Team, and the top 3 things were closing, growing a network, and follow-up that people needed help with. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm like a messy follow-up. I'm a messy follow-upper. But I do have crazy strategy to what I do. So I'm going to share that with you, but you can probably get with somebody more organized that will give better follow-up tips than I will. But I'm going to give you the fact of follow-up is actually just doing it. If you don't do it, then you're not there. I mean, seriously, like, you just have to do it, right? So one of the things that Natasha had shared yesterday was that she does not give a lot of cash back ever on her promoter upgrade kits, right? And she said, and this is where the key point was, is that instead of giving cash back, she sends 4 mini experiences to her new promoters that purchase a $400 upgrade kit. She sends 4 mini experiences to their first 4 potential customers, potential promoters, but they have to get her on the phone with them. She'll send them, but you got to get them on the phone with her. So basically, she's initiating this 3-way calls and 3-way chats immediately. As soon as the promoter signs and gets the $400 upgrade, she's like, okay, we'll get 4 mini experiences out to everybody, and we will go ahead and get you to go VIP 800, VIP 1600, right? And I thought that was freaking genius. And I'm going to be really transparent here, guys. During Destination at 12K, I was doing 3-way calls, 3-way chats all the time. Since Destination to 12K has ended, I could maybe count on one hand how many people have reached out to do 3-way calls and 3-way chats. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other leaders could probably say the same thing. And that's part of what the problem is, guys. Because if you're not getting that third party validation, a lot of times you're not going to get people to go ahead and believe what it is that you're having to say. Because let's face it, if your mom's been telling you something all of your life, and then all of a sudden you go to a new job and somebody starts telling you the exact same thing your mom was telling you, who are you going to believe? Your mom that you've been listening to your entire life, or your friend, your new coworker who's just now meeting you and observing exactly what it was that you were doing and your mom's been telling you your whole life that you were doing, right? You're going to believe the coworker because they don't have any reason to lie to you, or they just don't know you, right? So I just want to put that out there, that I thought that was such a genius thing. And with these fast starts, these triple fast starts right now, there were a lot of ideas shared on that Zoom about getting those minis out. So I challenged my entire team between now and when the triple fast starts ends to sell 10 6-day mini experiences or 16 3-day mini experiences. So basically, essentially, that's going to get you a little bit, either way, you're going to make your $400 back. And my biggest thing for you guys is to understand that if you do that and you commit to it, you're not going to stop until you reach it, but you have to decide that you're going to commit to it. If you do it, then the people on your team are going to also do it. And you're going to be able to get through it together by challenging each other. And I hear a lot of people saying growing my network, but a lot of people haven't even tapped into the network they already have. How do I know that? How many people on here have messaged every single person in their contact list? Probably not very many. How many people here have messaged every single person on their Facebook's friend list? I'm not telling you to go message everybody, okay? Please don't take that. I'm just asking. The reality of it is that most people don't message everybody that they possibly could out of fear of what that person's going to tell them. And you have to take that off the table. You have to quit worrying about that. You guys, I was challenged with this the other night. I think it was Monday. I had to ask the question, because if I didn't ask the question, somebody else was going to ask the question, and then I was going to miss my opportunity of asking that person. And the reality of it is that if I didn't ask and then I saw that person signed up and doing this business, I would have been kicking myself. And I'm sure that you have people that have joined on your timeline that you didn't reach out to that are now customers and also promoters in the company. I remember in my last company, one of the biggest things that made me push to that was that one of my friends' roommates from college, you guys, roommate in college, was a top 25 income earner. And this girl was literally, she was struggling to, she was like that in between 4K and 12K. But to see the person that she was a roommate with in college that she didn't reach out to skyrocket to the top 20 in the company, wouldn't you be kicking yourself? I was kicking myself. Okay. I was definitely I would have been kicking myself. So that's kind of where that point comes in. Okay, so when we're talking, I'm going to go with growing your network first, because that's probably one of the most important things that you guys will really kind of need help with. So here's the thing, guys. I mentioned belly to belly. I mentioned vendor events. I mentioned Facebook. I mentioned Instagram. So those were the 4 main things that I have always used to grow my business. Facebook, I joined groups. I added people. I used to go through people that I went to high school with, people I used to work with, looking up locations and places that are popular that we visit. Like Cooper's Rocks is here. West Virginia University Hospital's here. just different places like that. And then I would go to those pages and I would add people that followed those pages because I knew that they were probably local. I did that on Facebook. I also do that on Instagram. Instagram gives you a little bit better of a way to kind of grow your network, just in the simple fact that it's not weird for you to follow somebody and like and comment on their stuff. You know, as weird as it is for you to go and friend somebody and then be up all on their stuff constantly. But Facebook, it just takes a little bit more of a gradual approach. Instagram is more, you can be a little bit more aggressive, liking and comment. Let me call because I hear somebody and I won't be able to talk. So here's the thing, guys. When you're out belly to belly, Chast Marie has business cards. I always have business cards on me. I guarantee you, a lot of you do not have business cards. You have a business, get some business cards, okay? I don't care if you get them from the site or you go and you have Vistaprint or whatever to them. I don't care. But have something that recognizes your business, okay? That you can pass your contact information to. For me personally, somebody's on their phone, I think. If you could just mute yourself. I think I got you, but anyways, when you're out and about and you're talking to somebody, Paul actually taught me this trick. If you have an iPhone, Paul texted me one time and he said, send me your contact information. And I was like, what's that? Does anybody else know what that is? I honestly did not know what that was. So your contact information is, hold on, let me go to me. So on your iPhone, I'm going to pull it up. Hold on. I'm going to screen share. I think I can screen share because I want to show you guys this because I think it's super duper important. iPhone. Hold on. Hold on. You guys give me just 1 second because I think this is going to help you a lot if I can get it. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Can you guys see? You can see my computer, but you can't see my. 1 second. My phone's like, you guys hate me now. Looking for Apple TV. I don't know why it's doing that. Well, anyways, okay, that's obviously not going to work. Let me just stop this business. Sorry. Okay, so since it's not wanting to work, I'll just show you. So on your contact stuff, okay, so this is me. This is my contact. Oh, I hate something different. When you pull it up, it has my website, it has my YouTube channel, it has my blog, it has all my contact information there. It has my picture. It also says I'm a 200K brand promoter. So basically you can send that to somebody. And when somebody, it says share contact. So somebody gives you your text, they give you their phone number, and you just share your contact information right to them. Or you can have them text you theirs. And if they don't know how to do it, you can ask them if you can grab their phone and do it. And you have to be confident about it. But I can't tell you how many people I have signed from, I started talking to them in Lane Bryant. I started talking to them in Florida when I was at, some kind of event or something, or they worked at the hotel that I worked at. I can't tell you how many Starbucks baristas that I have signed up as customers, promoters over the years that I've added to my Facebook that I still connect with and talk to this day. So you have to take that initiative to get that person from here, like from talking to them in person, to actually on where you're going to spend the most time interacting and sharing the most valuable information. If you are building just belly to belly and you're not even using social media, it's really not that important for you to get them on your social media. But if you are primarily building on Facebook or Instagram, you need to get them where they're going to see testimonies. You need to get them where they're going to see you and get to know you. And then you also need to make sure, I always screenshot somebody when I'm adding them as a contact. I screenshot them so that I can later add where I met them at in my like note section for that person and put them by their name. Like, I cannot tell you how many people, guys, I have potential Pittsburgh, potential, Holiday Inn Pittsburgh, wherever it was that I met them. Maybe it was Lane Bryant in Florida or Lane Bryant in Pittsburgh. Yes, I shop at Lane Bryant sometimes. Torrid, whatever it is, places that I frequently visit. Does it mean that I get their contact information the first time I see them? No, not always, but sometimes yes. But how does that happen? Because I wear my DFT where somebody can see it every single day. I remember one day I was at the Pittsburgh Strip District, and this woman had like the worst personality. I was getting some baklava, okay, and she had like the worst personality ever, except when I went to pay, she said, "What is that sticker you're using?" And I really wanted to tell her, this is what's kept me from biting your head off this whole time. But I just said, it's my happy sticker and it's my wearable nutrition. And then I smiled, and people, I see Brittany Hyder down there laughing at me because she totally knows that would be me. That would be something I would say. And the funny thing is, guys, is, did I get that person as my new contact? No, I didn't. But I made her smile, and I brought curiosity to what it was that I was doing. And I was brave enough to talk to her and share what it was, right? And that is a win to me. That is definitely a win. So growing your network, it comes down to, you got to get some balls, excuse me, but you have to get some balls, and you have to friend people, and you have to not care if they shoot you a message and say, how do I know you? And maybe you went to school with them. Maybe you used to work with them. Maybe they go to the same places and you've seen them all the time at the skating rink with your kids, or at the soccer field with your kids, or maybe you're single, or you saw them at the dog park, or you saw them wherever, and you friended them because they had a familiar face, and you're like, you know what? I friended you because I keep on seeing you at the dog park, and I don't know, I just thought you'd be somebody I'd like to get to know, right? And the thing is that you have to not have fear of growing your network that way. You guys, when I first started, I literally did only have like 200 friends. I had no knowledge of Facebook, no knowledge of Instagram. Instagram wasn't even like a thing. You couldn't message, you couldn't do any of that. You had to put like your phone number in, and then people would have to text you, and it was just chaos, right? So when I first started, I was pretty aggressive with doing Working Women's Wednesdays, parties, events, signing up for every vendor event that I possibly could, whether it was a $5 event or $50, or sometimes it might be a $200 event. And I'd grab 5 or 6 people to split that with me. And every year I still get invitations to the wedding and the winter bazaar that they have at our local mall, and all these things where you see tables and booths set up. Julie Kane was just saying today that she's doing some kind of trick or treat event, and she actually sent in a thing for it back when she was in the Destination at 12K, and she just got her place on the list. She's the only Lavelle promoter, and those people are going to be coming through. And what is she going to do? Of course, she's going to give probably candy or something to the kids, but every single one of those kids probably has their parents with them, right? So she's going to be able to give each one of them a business card. And how often do you think those parents that are probably just worked all day had to rush home, get dinner in their kids, dress them up? Their kids are acting crazy, probably got candy at their school that day. And now they had to go and walk freaking miles to go trick-or-treating and deal with all these crazies in the dark, and people just being nuts and rude and everything else that comes with trick-or-treating, along with the smiles and cute pictures, okay? How many of those people are going crazy and thinking, yeah, I totally need some extra energy? I mean, seriously, a lot of them. So giving somebody something that they want already when you're already out doing something is a great idea. So vendor events, parties at your house, getting together with people. You guys, you have to ask the questions in order to get the things you want. Not always are you going to be able to reach everybody, which is why you have to utilize your network to actually want to incentivize bringing people with them. Maybe you tell somebody you're going to have an info session at Panera Bread. Panera, you can go and you can utilize the room. You just have to order drinks or food or something, right? They have like a little room in their restaurant. You can say, you know, I'm going to have an info session, and you have a friend that's wanting to thrive, and she wants to thrive so bad, but she keeps on saying, I just don't have any money, you know, and all this stuff, right? And you tell that friend, you say, you know what? You bring 2 people with you to this event that generally need more energy, need more money, whatever, and I'll give you a 3-day sample for free. You gave something for them giving you something. Okay. You gave something because they brought you value. You brought them value. Get it? They exchange. So anytime you're doing stuff like that, something else that we did in my previous company that helped grow our networks was that we would get these little boxes together and we would go put them at mom and pop stores. Hair places, nail places, movie stores, just any place that was privately owned that allowed you to put flyers or anything like that in it. We would go and we'd put, and not even just these boxes, you could even print off flyers and put them on billboards in, let's say, the post office. You know, almost all post offices have billboards, right? And you could put like one of those papers that you hang up that they grab your phone number, and you just say, are you tired of being tired? Could you use more energy? Do you need more sleep? All of those things. And guess what, guys? That person that is just checking their mail today and they're exhausted and they need more money and they're drowning in their bills and they're working 2 and 3 jobs already. They see somebody say something about making $1,300 and $1,320 working from home. Don't you think that person might decide that they're going to today pull a tab off of there and they're going to contact you, because maybe the next person's going to hang those tabs up next, because people are always doing stuff. So you have to really think outside the box in order to grow your network. It's like back in the old days, people would grab a phone book and they would just start cold calling. I mean, that took a lot of time. Could you imagine? Have you ever watched The Pursuit of Happiness and him trying to sell all of those machines? Like, he had to go to doctor's offices and drag his kid around with him and all this stuff in the meantime of being homeless and, you know, going through life struggles where he could just throw his hands up, except for if he wanted to feed his son and he wanted to have a roof over his head, he had to sell the damn thingy-mabobbers that he had. So my point is that if you need this and you want this, then you're going to have to do things that you don't want to do and that you're not comfortable doing. And it might not be what somebody else teaches you. And hell, I might be telling you something that somebody told you, don't do that, okay? And you can listen to them, or you can listen to me. And I'm not telling you that my way is the right way. What I'm telling you is what I have experienced over the years. And that has helped me grow my network. I grew a lot of my network by drawing people into my Instagram, adding them directly to my Facebook. Once I get them tagged in as an Instagram friend, I would invite them to online events. A lot of times they would follow me because they saw my post about my products. And then I would invite them to my online events, but they had to friend me first. And then they ended up in my friend circle. I also do a blog, and I'm not going to get into that because if you're a new promoter, you don't have any business doing something like that yet because you still have plenty of room for new friends. But I do those things and I give back and so forth. And that's to get more people looking at me and checking out my page and becoming my friends and so forth. So you have to bring value to people. And that means if I go to your page right now and all I'm going to see is Lavelle, then I'm just going to feel sold to. If I go to your page right now and all I see is nothing to do with Lavelle, nothing to do with your products, nothing to do with being an entrepreneur, nothing to do with anything at all, and you just are cussing every other post, or you are negative Nancy, or you're just like a bunch of shares and recipes and all of this stuff being on your page, I'm probably not even going to know that you are in business. So when it comes to your network, growing your network is part of it, but also what is your network going to see once you introduce them to you? So it's kind of two-parted, okay? You have to kind of provide them value when they do find you? Are you somebody that's positive and kind of like a ray of sunlight? And I'll be honest, guys, I don't have any specific talents. I suck at makeup. I can't cook. I hate to exercise. I can cook. I should change that about my words. Change my words. Change your words, change your life. But I hate to exercise. I don't know that that will ever change, because sometimes I think about, I could go and join like a roller derby team and I'd introduce myself to a whole bunch of new people. But then I'm like, goodness gracious, I wouldn't have any legs. Then I'd end up in the hospital, and then I'd meet people in the hospital. I don't know. I think about the fact that when my dad was dying, he was literally rolling around in a nursing home. 2 weeks before he passed away, I had to put him in a nursing home, and he was rolling around that nursing home selling my damn greens that I had. Why was he doing that? He was making me give him my business cards, leaving samples of products, leaving pamphlets of products, because my dad was networking for me. Okay, for me. So you have to ask your friends, your family, hey, can I bring some of my pamphlets and put a sticker on it, guys, with your name on it? Put some business cards with it. Go to some doctor's offices, ask if you can drop these off in their, office or whatever. I'm seeing a doctor right now that I know that he would be okay with it, but you have to do it. So you have to invest in yourself, invest time in yourself in order to do that. Do you have to go and order everything flashy and fancy? Absolutely not. You can print it off from home, but you're going to have to do something in order to grow yourself outside of just Facebook and Instagram, and outside of doing those things. So growing your network, that pretty much covers it. I could sit here and go on and on and on of different strategies and things that I've tried. It's kind of like a trial and error, guys. Sometimes, I had a business page in my last company, which we're not allowed to do it here. But I would post about my products all the time on there. And I'm glad that we can't do it here, because honestly, it was really bad. Anyways, I would attract the most terrible potentials ever. They were people that were broke, that didn't want to find a way, didn't want to find a solution. And it just seemed like every time that I would target a certain market, my audience, so I thought I was looking for, it was really just people wanting stuff for free and not wanting to work for it. So that kind of goes into my next thing. So when it comes to closing, guys, I took some notes. So I'm going to stay on track a little bit better for this. So when it comes to closing, first of all, Luana actually asked something, and she said, I need help with qualifying new potentials and keeping, I forget the word that she used, retaining maybe new promoters. And I'm going to be honest with you, when you're qualifying new potential promoters, customers, whatever it is, it kind of goes with if you're going to have retention with them. And I can pretty much tell right away if I'm going to have retention with somebody or not. And there's different levels of this, but I'm going to go over this. So first of all, do I sign promoters that don't necessarily want to work the business? Yes, I do. But only if they are aware that I'm here to help them, and I really don't want them to sign up as a promoter unless they want to work the business. But sometimes they just want to be a promoter. Okay. Like whatever. Sometimes people are so set on this kidnapping business that sometimes they just want to order as a promoter because they don't want to have to set up an auto ship. They want to be able to order every time they want to order, and always get the discount. And you know what, guys, I'm a kidnapper for some companies, and I signed up to get stuff like over the years. I can't tell you how many times I signed up just to get the kit so I could get extra product and stuff. I mean, I don't sell any of that stuff, but what I'm saying is that people do it all the time. So yes, but I also don't add those people to my team pages and chats and stuff like that until they're ready to work the business. So when it comes to closing, and retaining and qualifying and everything, first of all, you can't close somebody that isn't open in the first place. You cannot close somebody that's not open to actually hearing what you have to say. So here's a couple tips. First of all, when you're talking to somebody, don't ask them what they think about these products. Ask them what they want. ask them what they like about the fact that when I'm talking to somebody and they say, what are these 3 steps? I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. I have no magic words. I say, holy crap, they're incredible. It's 3 simple steps you take first thing in the morning when you wake up. You take your capsules, you take your lifestyle mix, and then you slap on your DFT. And all I can tell you is that I have more energy, I'm nicer, and I sleep better than I ever have. Do you have 3 minutes to check out a video? 3 minutes to check out a video that's going to explain so much more than I ever could. They're going to say yes or no. Okay, great. I'm going to send you the video. Send them the video. Then a couple minutes later, you message them and say, what did you like about that? Like, what are you going after? And I like to ask guys, some of the questions I like to ask somebody is, what are you trying to achieve? What do you hope to get from this? I mean, I can pull up, I just signed a customer with a burn experience. She knew that I don't like to sign people up with the burn experience getting started, but she is, here she is, but she was insistent. And here's what I want you guys to understand. I asked her what her goal was. I need to lose 73 pounds. So she said, how does this stuff work? I said, got a second, I will send you a video. It's like a few minutes, but it will make more sense than me typing a book. Literally, that's what I said. Do you see that? So how does this work? And I literally was straight to the point. Got a second? I will send you a video. I sent her the video. Okay, the next part. Okay, so this really works. I have to lose 73 pounds. Girl, yes, oh my God. It's nuts. I said, do you trust me? Did you hear me? Do you trust me? If so, I will hook you up. I was like, listen, I want to help you thrive for free, but let's get you started this month so that we can get you started experiencing it, getting some results, and then you can share it with your friends. And then she asked me how much shipping was, just a little bit of small talk and all of that, right? So here's the thing. I talked to her on September 9th. That's when that conversation was. She signed up today. Today is what? October 24th. So, and guess what, guys? I'm going to be honest. I didn't follow up with her. She messaged me. But I've been more consistent with my posting. Because I've been more consistent with my posting, those people that I had planted, that I've talked to and so forth, they're seeing my posts, they're seeing my stuff, they're seeing my offers, they're seeing me put out there, I've got samples to send, I've got this to send or whatever, right? So they're going to be more likely to message me, but I'd have a better return if I actually would shoot people messages. And that's how I got my VIP reset. Was I had a PPA of 1. My PPA today is 12. So, this month I've signed 11 people. I'm pretty proud of that. I'm pretty darn proud of that. Okay. 4 of them have been promoters. The 7 of them have been customers. And actually I take that back. I signed one on my husband's account as well. So that just goes to show you. So actually 8 of them have been customers and 4 of them have been promoters this month. And what I want you guys to understand is that I had a PPA of 1 at the beginning of the month. And what does that tell you? I literally have been following up. I have been more consistent with my business. So when it comes to qualifying and kind of retaining people, is that if you ask these kind of questions when it comes to the closing, sorry, I get sidetracked. You want to ask them what they're looking for. You want to ask them on a scale of 1 to 10 if they were going to order today. I know this sounds lame, guys, but just trust me. If you ask them on a scale of 1 to 10 how likely they are to order, you're going to find out. Some of those people are going to say a 1 or a 2. Why? All those questions add to why. Okay. So their why is going to be probably they don't get paid. If they tell you they get paid in 2 weeks and they want to get started then in 2 weeks, you pull out your calendar. Listen, these are my follow-up tips in the process of closing. You pull out your calendar and you put a little notification in there on your phone or in your notebook, whatever, and you put a little notification in there to message Misty on Friday the 15th because she's getting paid that day. And that's when she said she was going to place her order. And then you follow through with it. Okay. You follow through with it. So when you're closing, you want to be able to know why they hadn't ordered yet. So what's their objection? Is it time? Is it money? Is it they're just nervous? Whatever, right? And you want to try to keep on validating. So you want to keep on bringing that kind of stuff up. On a scale of 1 to 10, when you ask that, it's going to help prop you for other questions, okay? You can't, like I said, you can't close somebody that doesn't have $1 in their bank account. So you need to find out if that's what the case is. And if that's what the case is, then your mission needs to be trying to find a way for them to get these products. You guys, I'm going to be really real with you. When somebody tells me over and over again they need to use these products, but they don't have any money, I do bring up the promoter side of this because I'm like, God, you can't even freaking, I remember what it was like to go cash in change. I remember what it was like to have my damn car pulled out in front of me. In front of my kids. I mean, I remember what it was like to every time my phone rang, was it somebody, messaging me or a certified letter at the door and the dogs barking like crazy because I had foreclosure notices coming or the IRS telling me they were going to put a lien on my house or, whatever it might be. Like I've been there, I've done it. Okay. I didn't have money to go to work and have food. Like I was eating crackers and drinking coffee that the kitchen had. Like we have like no food in our kitchen at the hospital. So it was like apple juice out of the refrigerator, some plain old saltine crackers or whatever. That was my lunch because I didn't have the money to be able to do it. And there was a time when my daughter was in elementary school and Layla was in elementary school that I got a letter that they weren't going to serve her lunches. And I didn't have the money. I didn't have the money to pay her lunch bill. And I want you guys to understand something. Those people, they need this business. And if you don't offer it to them, they're never going to know any different. So I want you to think about that when somebody keeps telling you they don't have the money, their water's getting shut off. I've heard every story that I can even explain. Then you want to offer them the business. The worst thing they can do is shut you down. They can shut you down, but at least you offered it to them and gave them a way to get out of this rut. Because even if they make $15, $10, $20, $30 extra a week, that's more money than they had before. And that is showing them that you actually do give a shit. You're not just trying to get a sell, excuse my language. You're not just trying to get a sell, but you're actually trying to help them. And I'm going to be very, very blunt here, guys. The reason why I've had so much success in this business is because I actually care about people. All right. I actually care about people. And it's why I get so freaking emotional. It's why I'm always called a yellow. But let me tell you what, when it comes down to it, for my team, I will fight tooth and nail. For my kids, my family, for my future, I will fight tooth and nail with anybody, and I will prove anybody wrong that says I can't do it. So you have to decide that you want to get out of your situation more. And the people that you're talking to, you have to decide that you actually want to care about them and not it just being them signing on that website. And it's not just about them placing that order to raise your check. What is it going to benefit them? Are they trying to get more energy? Is this a dad that is away from home all the time and he wants to join the business so that, maybe him and his wife never see each other. Maybe he's working lots of jobs or, on the flip side with me, I was working multiple jobs and my husband was taking a job that, was less than what he could have been making, but our schedules didn't work together and we were never seeing each other. It was always in passing. So it's like, you want to find out what those things are, and that is what's going to help you close. You always want to bring it up, what it is that they want. If you tell somebody, you give them a business opportunity and you're sharing it with them and you're in the middle of closing, they've told you they need to join this. They're nervous. They're not going to be successful. They don't have a network. They don't have time. They don't have any money. Okay. First of all, the money part is what you're trying to help them with. And you need to tell them that. Okay. You need to ask them how much would help your family. You guys, you go right there. How much would help your family? How much do you need to make a month? You're going to get people that say, I need to make $3,000 a month. You're going to get people that say, I need to make $10,000 a month. You're going to need people to say, seriously, I get people that say these numbers, okay? And I look at them like they're flipping out of their damn mind, because I know how long it can take to get to some of those numbers, okay? And does that mean that some people are going to get there quicker? Some people, it's going to take longer? Abso-freaking-lutely. But you have to match whatever it is that they're telling you. Say they tell you they want to make, I was a couple $100 extra a month. That's where I was when I started. And my sponsor, my previous business, asked me, how much do you want to make a month? And I said, well, my first goal is just to make a couple extra $100 a month. Okay. I said, what do I need to do? And she said, go get XY amount of customers, go get XY amount of, distributors. And then you want to fill in this and all this stuff. It was a little bit more complicated with that. And you'll make roughly around this amount of money, right? So I was like, okay, I can do that. Same thing with here, guys. If somebody comes in and they say, I need to make like $1,000, I need to make $500. Guess what? You show them how to go VIP 800, VIP 1600. They need to make that $500 extra a month. You figure out how many fast start bonuses they need to have, how many customers they need to help, and you go to town, right? Here's the thing. It's like, it's going to take a little trial and error. They're not going to walk right in and get $500 extra a month. Guess what? They're not going to walk into a job and get $500 extra a month just because they decided they wanted the job. Nope, that's not how it works. The employer has to hire them. They have to show up to work. They have to clock in. They have to do the job, right? So the same thing goes with this. You want to make $500 extra a month, then you need to work. You need to work. Whenever I first got started, my husband, I can tell you, he was telling me so many times, he'd be like, Amanda, you're making less than minimum wage, and all the work you're putting in, you work non-stop. And I said, one day, this is all going to pay off for me. One day, this is going to pay off for our family. Like one day. And now my husband and I work from home. He doesn't work the business. Well, he kind of does. He talks to people and he's knowledgeable about the products. He uses the products. He introduces the products. I've signed customers, promoters, and so on because my husband's introduced or gave my information or whatever, but he doesn't do like the signing up or any of that jazz. But what he does do is he gets up every day with my kids. He makes sure Layla gets on the bus. He makes sure Leah gets dressed for school. Then he wakes me up and I do her hair. He makes sure her teeth are brushed. He cleans the house. He goes shopping. He washes the clothes. He's like Mr. Mom. And it's a partnership. He does those things so that I can work. Okay. And I love what I do. So it works out perfect because I hate that other stuff. I hate cleaning and I hate getting up early and I hate all of that stuff because I stay up late working. Right. So what I'm telling you guys is that you have to find what it is the person is looking for achieving. If they want weight loss, then you need to bring up the weight loss. They're not going to get any closer to their goal if they're not making any decisions to make that choice. You have to decide to say, you know what? You're talking to somebody and you don't know how to break it to them. You don't know how to follow up with them. Let me do it this way. You go into your conversation, you look at it, and you're like, okay, this person's telling me they have no money. She's a nurse. You have to ask the questions or you're not going to know these things, okay? She's a nurse. She doesn't have any money. She doesn't have any time. She works third shift. She's got 2 kids. That just sounds like all of those things. No time, no money, no experience, doesn't know anybody, doesn't talk to anybody. That was me. Okay? That was me. I just described me. So I'm pretending like I'm talking to me. How would I get me to maybe take a second look? Well, I'll tell you what, if somebody sent me a story of somebody that was very similar to me, just sent me a story, copied and pasted off of the fan page and said, listen, I had to share this with you because I read it and it made me think of you. Don't you think that's a good icebreaker? I think it's a pretty damn good icebreaker. Somebody's a firefighter and you have been talking to them, telling them, man, you need to check this out. I think that you would love it. You would feel awesome. You just read a firefighter story on the Lavelle fan page. You copy and paste that testimony. You send it to your potential. Boom. You want to talk about closing? Give somebody a story of the way that they want to feel that relates to them. Okay. You can go to the Lavelle fan page and you can type like in the search part, plus nurse, plus mom, plus dad, plus firefighter, plus adrenaline, whatever. Okay. Chastity Marie taught me that trick, guys, and I can promise you it works. So it's a great way when you're going into close, you don't know how to really approach them or whatever, or maybe you do have a follow-up. Maybe you have something that, you know, they told you a time, they told you a date, or maybe you just message them and say, hey, I'm just checking on you. But maybe the last 10 times you followed up with them, you said, hey, I'm just checking on you. Guess what, guys? Statistics are out. And it's going to take 12 to 20 times for you to follow up with somebody before they sign up with you. Tough luck. That's just the way it is. That's how it goes. It's not you bothering them if when you message them with purpose because of them. Okay. Because it's going to benefit them. Maybe it's a sell. Maybe it's, you know, maybe you have credits, maybe on the second day of the month, 2 people that you were talking to, you said their holdback was, maybe one of them was complaining of shipping. Maybe one of them was complaining of they didn't have whatever. You got to find out what people's budget is, guys. If you ask what their budget is, you can work with their budget, because on the second day of the month, when you get those credits and that person that told you their budget was $130, you can offer them $20 in product credit. You just gave them a solution. Anytime you offer a solution in a close, you're going to have better luck. So when it comes to closing, and I just want to add this in, the next thing I want to say is every single person that said you're struggling with closing, you need to send your message to your upline. I'm going to read these comments over here on the side when I'm done talking, because if I don't, I'll just get really sidetracked. But I did see somebody say, I don't know who to contact in my upline. If you go into Cloud Office and you click your sponsor, it'll show who their sponsor is. So if your sponsor like fell off the planet, go to the next person up. Okay, go to the person that signed them up. If that person fell off the planet, reach out to, Lisa's going to love me for this. Reach out to Lisa K. Fuller and she can tell you who's in your upline. Lisa, I love you. She might be on, I don't know. But I'm just being honest, guys. I mean, here's the thing. And I said this to my team, and I don't really care who it ticks off. But if they're collecting a check on you, they need to help you. If they're collecting a check on you, they need to help you. So, yep, I called them out. You get a hold of them and you get them on a call. And actually, Natasha suggested that you just put all your uplines in a chat with them, and then you say, you know what? Hey, uplines, I need a 3-way call. Who can help me? And that'll make those people that are ignoring your messages step up, because they saw, you know, Chas in a message. They saw Maria in a message. They saw, you know, Lisa in a message, or Jamie Pekka in a message. So just so you all know, if your upline's not answering you, they're not responding, they fell off the planet, you reach out to your next upline, put them all in a chat. Who cares? Like I said, if they're making money off of you, make them work. I probably made a lot of people mad there, but it's just how I roll. Okay. I'm just being honest with you, because here's the thing, when somebody signs up, they are hungry. I don't care if somebody's on 20 levels down. If somebody's hungry to learn and hungry to make this happen for them, I want to see them reaching those goals. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know what kind of life people have had until you open up your heart and you actually freaking listen. And when you listen, it doesn't matter how deep they are, how much money you make off of them. It's a matter of seeing their lives transform, guys. And I promise you, it'll pay off every time. You can't go wrong. So when it comes to follow-up, I do a couple things. First of all, I would sit here and lie to you and tell you that I write everybody's name down in a calendar, but that would be a lie. I will sit here and tell you I write everybody's name down I talk to, and that would be a lie. Okay. Should I write everybody's name down that I talk to? 100%. And if you put them in a calendar of when you met them, then you can put them in a calendar every time you follow up with them. And that would make perfectly good sense of a way to do it. Some people do Rolodexes. Some people do spreadsheets. Those are like really fancy people. That would sound like something Stacy would do. Stacy probably has a spreadsheet. In fact, I know she's got a spreadsheet. Stacy messaged 50 people on Instagram yesterday. And I thought, girl, you're making me look bad. Because I used to be that person that would shoot out 50 messages, no problem, no questions asked. Some of you guys are like, who are you messaging? Well, anybody that commented or liked on one of my before and after pictures or one of my posts that had to do with the business, I'd shoot them a message. Nothing aggressive, just saying, hey girl, thanks for the love on this post or whatever, right? And some of you guys are rolling your eyes and you're like, oh my God, I'm hearing you 40% off and trial. Da, da. No, I'm just thanking somebody for liking my post. Don't get your panties in a bunch. That's all. Okay. That's all. That's all. Okay. You don't have to go into sales speed, but when you message people, you can ask them, hey girl, I keep on seeing you love on these trials. Somebody that's actually liking on your trials, somebody that's actually commenting on your stuff, liking on your stuff, because guess what? You don't have bots. So they're actually genuinely following you and liking your stuff, right? So you shoot that person a message because maybe they're scared and you say, you know what? I've got a discount going on right now if you want to give this a try, whatever, right? You have to be bold. I can't tell you how many leaders have said that they joined. Like I remember Casey Carter saying that Paul, it was Paul, or no, Mike Page, I think, signed him up, reached out to him and wanted him to join him, and he ignored him until he said about the money, and then he was all over it. Okay. Jason talked about Paul reaching out to him and how he didn't want anything to do with it, and then he did. Okay. But it took how many times before he talked to him before he actually joined? So follow up. Get yourself organized. Get some tips from some really organized people. Like I said, I can tell you tips that I do with minis. I put a timer for the day that I know that they're going to get their mini. So like if I mailed it out today, I know in 2 days they're going to get their 3-day mini. That reminder, guys, everybody, like this girl I just signed tonight as a customer, I said, it's probably going to be there in 2 to 3 days. Message me as soon as it comes because I want to make sure you have an incredible experience. Okay. Then she shot me back. What kind of diet do I need to have? Like, should there anything I need to do? Da, da, da. And I just gave her a brief explanation and she was like, okay, sounds good. Can't wait. I'll message you whenever it comes. And every time, guys, people message me as soon as their product comes. As soon as their product comes. If your people are not messaging you as soon as their samples get there, their whatever gets there, and maybe you didn't get them in a 3-way call or 3-way chat to get that sample out. But if you get them in a 3-way call or a 3-way chat when they're sampling, maybe you just approach it. And I'm not a fan of adding people in to 3-way calls or 3-way chats without their knowledge, with the exception of if somebody is doing a 3-day mini, I might throw them in a chat and say, hey, Sarah, I know you just got started this morning. I know we walked through steps 1, steps 2, step 3. I just wanted to add Chas in here because I wanted to see how you were feeling during the day. And I also wanted to have her thought, like her suggestions, if we needed to change anything, but we just wanted to see how you were doing. And I was telling her how excited you were about getting thriving and what your goal was and all of that jazz. Okay. Now I've got somebody else in there that's going to be like, hey, Sarah, whatever the name was of this Sally person or whatever her name was. I'm so excited that you're thriving, and let us know if you have any questions. We just want to make sure that you have the best experience possible. That's all that person has to say. Okay. And then the person says how they're feeling. They're more likely to interact whenever they have somebody asking them how they're feeling. What are you experiencing? You have to have confidence, guys, that they're going to have a bomb experience. So what do they want? What are they after? How many hours are they willing to put into their business? They tell you they want to make $1,000. How many hours are they willing to put in? How long before you want to reach that? Okay. So if somebody's telling you they want to make $500 extra a month, obviously that's not chump change. So they have to be willing to work. How many hours are you willing to work? And then when they tell you maybe they only have an hour a day. Okay. You can tell them, listen, I'm realistic here, and I'm going to be honest with you and tell you that an hour a day is probably not going to cut it. If you went to a job and you told them that you wanted to make $500 this month, but you were literally only going to give an hour a day, do you think you would get a $500 check? Absolutely not. This is a business. use your brains. Okay. So you basically want to make sure that they understand that it's going to take work. It's going to take time. If they're coming in, they've never done something like this, you're going to have to work on building their network. You're going to have to actually handheld with them. And I hate hand holding, but I don't mind hand holding to somebody that is teachable. Somebody that is coachable, I will work with any day of the week, all day long, every day. Okay. And I could name multiple people on here that are coachable. And I could name multiple people on here that are not coachable, because when they ask for suggestions, they don't do a darn thing of it. They don't show up on Zooms. They don't post on Facebook. They're negative Nancy's, and they just want to complain. And I can't put my energy there. So I choose to focus on the Nikkis and the Brittnys and the Evelyns and the Shannons and the people that are on here. You get what I'm saying here? So I choose to pour into the people that are going to give back to me feedback and then progress and learn and want to grow. So when you're talking about retaining, following up, closing, all of those things, guys, I hope you understand that this all links together. It all links together. Holy crap, I've been talking for an hour. So be realistic with what the expectations are. Don't overshoot and say, oh, you want to lose 50 pounds this month? Let me get you started on this Thrive experience and burn. You are going to look awesome if that 50 pounds is gone this month. Nope. You want to say, all right, girl, let's get you started working towards your goal. I can't wait to see where you're at the end of this month. Okay. Get it? You see the difference? Huge difference. You're not promising that they're going to get 50 pounds off. You're not promising that they're going to lose an ass ton of weight. You're saying, I know that these products work. I have seen the results. I feel the results. Let's see what it's going to do for you. And we're going to see progress. Take before and after pictures, take measurements, throw away the darn scale, all of those things. And the same thing for the business. If somebody joins me and they never plug in, never watch the training, never ask questions, never, ever talk to me again, then they message me and say, I quit because this just wasn't working for me. No, they just weren't working. Okay. So there's a difference there. So there's a number one thing, and I swear to God, you can go and look up Eric Voorhees, you can look up Ray Higgin, you can look up any of those guys, okay? And every single one is going to tell you one thing when it comes that is going to be your number one asset. It's going to be confidence. It is going to be confidence in your products, confidence in your compensation plan. And if you lack that confidence, you're going to also pass that on to other people. So if you're struggling in that area, then see about getting a third-party validation to help you close. Okay. First of all, every single one of you guys that are having trouble closing, I'm going to challenge you literally to screenshot your conversation and send it to your upline. Okay. I know a lot of you on here. I see you, and I'm your upline. So I'm expecting to see some screenshots and ask me to do three-way calls. And don't you think for 1 second that if you have somebody else above me or below me in between you that I won't stick them all in a chat. I don't care. You don't want to call them out, I'll call them out. I don't care. So basically, listen. You have to listen to close. Listen. Do you guys know what I mean by that? If you don't listen to customers, you can't close them. If you don't listen to potentials, you can't close them. If you don't have confidence in your close, you can't close them. So you need to add a third-party validation there. You need to go back on your conversations. When I follow up with somebody, I normally follow up with them and say, hey, girl, I've been thinking about you. I know you've been saying that you wanted to get started making some extra money. This is what we have going on right now. Are you ready to get going? Or whatever it might be when it comes to that. So I am just a jabberjaw. That's the last of my notes, I believe, from things that I had wrote down. Now I'm going to answer questions over on the side. And anybody, this is why I didn't have a guest tonight, because I knew that I was going to run my mouth the entire time. And I'm so sorry, but I did not feel the best earlier. And I laid in my bed working all day, not talking to people. I actually closed my messenger for a little bit. And then, like I said, I got up and I signed a customer. So anybody want to unmute and ask questions? I'm going to read over on the sides.
I have a question, Amanda. I recently am getting back into doing my promoting because I had a nice little 36-day vacation that was not wanted thanks to a judge. And I'm wanting to know of ideas on how to get myself back going into, working with my promoters and also getting new customers.
Okay, how long have you kind of taken a step back for? Let me start there.
Just 36 days because of a judge deciding to put me in jail for 36 days. So I had to take a step back because of that. And then as soon as I got back out, I got back into it. And,
I don't know what that background noise is like, really bad. So I gotta mute you for a second. You guys hear that? Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm sorry I muted you, but I'm just going to talk now. So anytime somebody takes a step back, one of the biggest things that I suggest is that they kind of do like a relaunch. And depending on how long they took a step back for, is they need to come out aggressive. They need to come out excited. You need to come out like, holy crap, that this sucked, taking a step back from this. I'm ready to help more people. I'm ready to get started. I'm ready to, I'm not sure if you were thriving during that time, that you kind of took a step back or not, but sharing what it was like if you took a couple days where you weren't thriving and so forth, that kind of will help reignite your excitement in the way that you kind of come across and you decide that you're going to share it. And you just have to be really super loud and positive and confident in the fact of what your decision is about coming back. And that's the same thing. I mean, I've seen people take 3 and 4 months where they just kind of disappear. And the biggest thing is that they need to relaunch themselves. They need to relaunch themselves. They need to be excited. You guys, there were months and months and months I was listening to all these people talk about all these different strategies, and you can get so overwhelmed with personal development and all this stuff that I realized, holy crap, I'm not even posting about products. I'm not posting about testimonies. I'm not sharing stories. I'm not doing these things. And guess what? When I started doing those things, my business started to grow. As for your promoters, you have to remember, if you took a step back, they may have taken a step back. And I'm just going to be honest with you, regardless of what your reason was for taking a step back, they might be kind of salty. They might be kind of salty that you were missing when they needed help. Okay. So just kind of give them a little bit of thing. Let them know you're there to help them. You want to help them. You want to know if they want to work or not. If they don't want to work, you move on. You say, listen, when you're ready, I'm here. But otherwise, you just focus on new. Okay. So you basically like you're starting brand new and challenge yourself to go VIP 800, VIP 1600. That's what my suggestion is for you. Okay. Anybody else?
Me.
Yes.
Sheba.
Hey, Sheba.
Hey, how are you?
Wonderful.
My question, I'm still kind of new. And
whatever, your results are amazing. You guys go check out Sheba. I mean, there can't be that many Shebas on Facebook. Okay.
There's not.
Yeah. Go look at her. Go look at her results. She's still kind of new. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
My question is Thrive for Free.
Uh-huh.
You said, one person, I'm not sure how to sign them up.
Okay.
Like if you got a person who wants to thrive but can't, but it costs of money. And if they bring 2 people, how do you sign all of that up?
Okay, so you can still sign the person up that doesn't have any money as a free customer. And then I give that referral link to their friends.
Oh.
So, yeah. So instead of them signing up on my referral link, they're going to sign up on your friend's referral link. So they brought you the people, you sign them up on their referral link, and then they get the credits for it. So here's the thing, guys, is free customers can absolutely 100% thrive for free. They don't have to have an auto ship. They don't have to place an order. They don't have to have any of that. They just, if they sign 2 people that order the Thrive experience on the first, and they have to have their auto ship on though. Okay. So I know a lot of you guys will have them check their auto ship, whatever. But kind of change your way of doing this. Instead, write down what day your customers have their auto ship. Take out the verbiage of you can cancel that as soon as you place the order, and replace the verbiage with I'm going to message you 5 days before this auto ship is supposed to run. Okay. I'm going to message you 5 days before this auto ship. Yep. You heard me. I'm going to message you. I'm saying this repeatedly because I know people aren't writing it down, but I'm going to message you 5 days before your auto ship would run. And we can decide if you want to go ahead and continue it or you want to stop it. But this way, if your friends decide, whatever, we can get you thriving for free, and they're helping you thrive for free. Okay. So if everybody shuts off their auto ship, then your credits are going to suck. So don't do that to yourself. Okay. Actually make them keep that auto ship on until after at least the second of the month. I don't care. Message them on the 4th or the 3rd or whatever, but wait till after the 2nd. Okay. But if I sign somebody on the 6th of the month or whatever, and their auto ship's scheduled to run the next month on the 5th, then I want to message that person prior, around the beginning of the month or whatever, to make sure that if they want their auto ship shut off for the 5th or whatever, they get it shut off. But replace the verbiage of them canceling it or whatever with I'm going to message you. So then you have to follow through and message them, or else you're going to deal with a pissed off customer that had an auto ship run that you didn't message like you promised them they did. And all they got to do is scroll up and see that you told them you message them, and then you never did. Okay. So Sheba, the short answer to what you asked is basically yes, sign them up as a free customer and then give their referral link. So when I'm doing my referrals, what I typically do is I tell my customers that I want to help them thrive for free next month, but I don't go into too many details. The day that they start thriving, whether it's with a mini experience or with their, month supply that they decided to get or promote or whatever, that's when I utilize, don't forget to share how you're feeling on Facebook today. And that's all I say. I'm not going to give them the words. I mean, I might say, how are you feeling? And they say, I have more energy, or I don't know, I'm kind of a little bit less hungry or whatever. And they're like super excited about life talking to you. Okay, don't post that. Okay. Don't post that. I might tell them that. But, I tell them to focus on the fact that their appetite is down. Focus on the fact that they haven't drank any coffee today. Focus on the fact that they've drank more water, that they have more energy, that they feel like getting up and going cleaning. Or, I have a new promoter that she's been posting about how she's got her house clean, and she's done a checklist of like, I've done XYZ, right? And those type of things, while they might not initially and she's getting people asking her questions and things like that. So it's just a matter of kind of like grabbing people's attention. And if your customer gets comfortable with that, what happens is sometimes that's why customers sometimes turn into promoters, because they might see, holy crap, all I'm doing is sharing how I'm feeling. And then all of a sudden they're getting a big response, and they've got 4 or 5 people now who want to try this product. Why aren't they becoming a promoter? And, maybe they don't want to be a promoter. Maybe they just enjoy the customer side of it. But some people, that's what makes them decide to ultimately become a promoter, because they're loving the products and they're noticing they want to tell people how they feel. Just kind of like the, Starbucks pink drink. Everybody wanted to know about the pink drink or the unicorn drink or whatever. Or the other crazy toys that come out like over, Black Friday, and crazy moms sleep outside all night for their kid for a darn Hatchimal. Yep, that people do stupid stuff. Okay, like I'm Queen Stupid here. But that's ultimately, Sheba, that's my response when it comes to the customer thriving for free. So I think so many people, it's overcomplicated a lot of times, I think. And I think a lot of people honestly want their customers to get themselves thriving for free. And that sucks, because then their customer isn't as happy because they had to put in this work that they really didn't want to do, that they didn't sign up for. And the reality of it is that a customer 100% should be a customer, and you should be the one giving the customer service and giving the referral link and talking to their friends and so forth, right? So you tell them what to post, or them to post like what they're excited about, and then you do the legwork behind it to get that person signed up and answer their questions.
So the referral link is the one who signed up free.
Yep. The person who signed up for a free customer account, maybe it's like, I'm just going to use an example, A Smith. Okay. Maybe this person's username is A Smith. Because you enrolled this customer, you'll see what their username is. So it's just going to be asmith.le-vel.com. Okay. Or I like to use the Thrive 2.0 link whenever I'm having people sign up, just because I think it's easier to navigate.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? This is
Hey, Amanda.
Yeah.
Hey, back to the auto ships. So I actually just had someone recently, she had to return her stuff because I didn't follow up with her before her auto ship ran. But she said that she would have been able to do it if she was able to switch the date. Can they switch the date on their auto ship, or is that something you have to do when you first sign up?
Okay, so promoters cannot switch their date, but customers can. They can go in and they can edit their date. They can edit their auto ship. They can change all of that, but promoters have to delete their auto ship and change it. I think you might be able to change the date, Corey, actually. Regardless, I think you might be able to. But I know the products that are actually in the cart, the biggest thing is, guys, listen, when the company comes out with like these buy two, get one frees or buy three, get two, or whatever, I don't care what you are doing in your life. If you sign a single customer that signs up on AutoShip when you have those promotions, always make sure to double check those. But I'm just as guilty as anybody else. I've definitely missed customers that had them run, and I don't normally let my customers return product though. But I kind of eat it, honestly, the cost, because I know that it was my doing. Because when they do that, I'm just going to warn you guys, returns can equal negative checks. They can equal loss of ranks, promotions, and everything else under the sun. For a multitude of people, it goes all the way up the line. So just watch the returns. I try to keep it to a minimum if possible. But your girl, she could have edited. Yes, she would have been able to edit if she had a customer account.
Okay, it was a customer, but I wasn't sure because I just didn't know if it was different for us or different for them. So thank you.
Yes, it is. It is different for them. Let's see. I'm seeing where everybody was dying laughing because I was muted and had my thing on here. So I'm at 10:14. I'm going to head and stop the recording, but I'm going to stick around and answer questions that are over on the side. And also answer any questions that anybody else has.